friends, this is Lori from Cruising for Treasure, and you are watching my What Sold show, where I show you everything that is going out the door today. And I do sell on 4 different platforms, eBay, Poshmark, Facebook, and Mercari. And this weekend I actually did have sales on all 4 platforms, which is awesome. For Facebook, it was just, I had 2 marketplace pickups. Nothing shipped out, and then I had sales on Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook. eBay, not Facebook. For a total that is going out the door today of 17 items, and then I sold 2 on Facebook over the weekend. I actually am supposed to have somebody come and pick up something today, but she was supposed to pick up on Saturday, supposed to pick up on Sunday, and supposed to pick up today. So we will believe it when we see it. This is why I do porch pickup, because I do not have time to race all around my area meeting people for a $20 sale. Not happening. Anyway, so let's see. What I love about this weekend's sales is that they just run the gamut of everything that I list. And most of them, I think all of them are actually under the $50 price point, which is, you know, it would be nice if there were 1 or 2 that were over. But I'm still happy because it hit almost all the categories that I listed, which is amazing. Okay, let's just jump right in, shall we? The first one was this beautiful set of jewelry. It's a pair of earrings and a little brooch, and this sold for $15. And this is, I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, Damascene, something like that. Anyway, it's very, what's the word? Recognizable art that you can tell there. If you find this anywhere, it is fairly collectible. It's not going to sell for a ton of money, but if you come across it in like a huge jewelry lot or whatever, it's worth the time to list. So I had it priced at $20, and then I sent an offer for $15 and they accepted. Okay, next is a book. Not just any book though. This was a $40 book. This is a Volkswagen New Beetle service manual. This sold for $40. So car manuals or service manuals are a great thing to keep an eye out for. They're not all gonna sell for $40, but they are gonna sell, you know, depending on the make and model, they're gonna sell for between $15, $20, $30. And I'm gonna say that they don't sit around for a long time. Definitely they will sell within 6 months. Can't think of any that I have held on to for longer than that. Okay, now this, I did an Instagram post on this. I listed 5 Cutco knives and assorted items on Friday. Literally within hours, 3 had sold. So 2 sold on eBay and then 1 sold on Mercari. And this is my one and only Mercari sale. So let me pull that up. This is just the pearl handled dinner knife, Cutco. And this sold, let me see, hang on. This sold for $30. I could not believe it when I looked this up. Now, on Mercari, I do free shipping, so I bumped my price up a little bit. So this is $30, including shipping. But still, I mean, it's gonna weigh, this doesn't even weigh 8 ounces. It doesn't even weigh 4 ounces. So this is gonna be a really cheap item to ship, relatively speaking. And I won this in an auction lot from an online auction. And they basically had like a shoebox full of kitchen utensils. And as I was going through the pictures, I could count at least 4 different Cutco items. So I bid on it. I ended up winning the whole lot for $15. And so I paid approximately $3 each. And then I also did, was able to, there were a couple other things in there that were worth selling. So generally speaking, I did very well for myself. We like that. Okay, so another Cutco item was this spreader, with the serrated edge. And this one sold for $14. And then the third item to sell was this serrated knife, and they sent me an offer for $22. Now, this buyer sent me a very interesting note, basically telling me exactly how to package this, which we always love those types of messages, don't we? I mean, I do understand, because if you have bought anything off of eBay from a seller, you know not all sellers are the same. Some do not take as much care as others. And so sometimes you get stuff that's not packaged well at all. So I get it that people, you know, have had bad experiences before. I understand that. It's still a little bit annoying. Okay, let's see. I sold these adorable Stephen New York Valdez knit mules slip-on. They're so cute. These sold for $20 going out the door. They're actually my size, but this style of shoe just does not work for me at all. Not even a little bit. Okay, let's see. The next thing that I sold was this lot of Christian fiction books. Now, I've told you before, when I'm at a thrift store or bidding on online auctions, I look for, in books, I look for sets that are complete or almost complete, because people who are buying secondhand books, and it's a series, usually they're going to probably want the entire series. So if you can accumulate the entire series, especially in one trip to the thrift store, somebody's going to eventually pay for that. So this is case in point. This is Kristen Heitzman, which is a Christian fiction author. Really great author, writes great books. So these 3 books together sold for $17.99. And usually I pick up my books at Goodwill when they're color of the week. So 75% off. So maybe I paid $1.50 for these. So that's just a tip, because a lot of times, unless it's a really great series like, you know, Harry Potter or Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or, you know, some type of series like that, that like they're constantly putting out new books, they're reprinting the whole series. So it's not, they're not rare, but most authors their books get printed when they're written, and then most likely they're probably not going to get reprinted. So people who are trying to find an author's like backlog, or what's it called, backlist, or whatever it's called, the books they've written before, sometimes it can be difficult to find them. So if you can find a whole series, it's good to, you know, obviously run your comps, figure it out, but that's what I do. And sometimes it works. Sometimes you sell 3 books for $17.99. Okay, this is a very big and bulky robe that I'm super excited to get out the door. It sold for $20. I'm assuming this came in a lot from somewhere, because I can't imagine buying this. But the brand is Knightsbridge. It literally took forever. So this is not a bolo. Just throw it over there. If you guys could see my house right now, guys, it's ridiculous. We are hosting an open house in 2 weeks for my daughter's graduation, and it will be clean by then, but we will go through much agony before the time. So I really super admire the resellers who can keep a beautiful, immaculate house whilst being thoroughly engrossed in their craft, because reselling is just messy for me. Everything is in my home. I don't have a storage unit. I don't have a warehouse. I don't have anything. So when I'm doing it at the level that I'm doing it, of listing 25 items a day, it just creeps. So we got to work on that. That is our goal, to work on that. Okay, LL Bean Ameribag. This is a really great bag for travel. And there's not a lot of branding on it, so it can be hard to find. But this one, the brand is right there on the buckle in the back. And that sold for full price for $19.99, which is awesome. It's very lightweight. I think I paid about $2 for that in a lot somewhere. Okay, this is Dungeon and Dragon Expert Rulebook. This sold for $30, which is amazing. I got that in a lot from an online auction, which I paid up for it. But I'm making a good bit of money, so I'm very thankful. Okay, this is Elsa Williams Completed Needlepoint. So pretty, so mid-century modern, right? The colors are just that color palette. So that sold for $20, which is just awesome. I'm gonna say I got this in an online auction, and it was in one of my haul videos, or one of my pickup and coffee shows. So watch those, and then you will see. Okay, next is this vintage needlepoint pillow. This is so adorable. Anytime I find pillows like this, I always pick them up. Normally they're Christmas themed, but I found two that were like spring/garden themed, and this is now the second one to sell. So that's pretty great. I paid $3.20 at Savers, and this sold for $29.99. So definitely keep your eye out for those vintage needlepoint pillows. Okay, next, this is a brand that I have just started seeing and pricing, and I did not realize that like they can sell for a decent amount of money. They're very funky, super lighthearted, quirky types of shoes. So fun. The brand is L'Artiste Spring Step, and these sold for $30. And here is, I don't know if can you see the brand? I don't know if you can see the brand. L'Artiste, sold for $30. So, and it sold fairly quickly, and I've sold another pair, recently, and then I have a third pair listed. So, anyway, keep your eye out for them. Okay, next is a Hallmark ornament, and this sold for $12.50. So cute, little mice playing video games. Adorable. Okay, and then guys, if you watched my latest Hoarder House haul, I found lots of vintage underwear in the haul. And I sold a package, $50. Yes. And this is just Hanes Her Way. It's from 1999, but it's 100% cotton, and obviously they've changed how they make their underwear, and so people want this underwear. So $50 out the door. Super excited about that. If you haven't watched my Hoarder House videos, you should watch them, because there's a lot of items in there that are just, this last video especially, it was like walking down memory lane. It was so fun. Like, I was born in 1978, and so it was all clothes that I can remember people wearing when I was a child. So it's just, you know, fairly nostalgic. But all of that stuff came to us free of charge. And so if you watch the videos, we have a playlist with all of those videos. I have one more to record, and then we're done. And my goal is to get all of it listed by the time my daughter graduates, which is in 2 weeks from this past Friday. So less than 2 weeks. So I've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, two more items. Let's see. Poshmark sales. So, okay, I told you guys I started the Poshmark VA trial period, 2 weeks. So we're about 5 days into it, 4 days into it. Guys, I only had 2 sales on Poshmark this weekend. So now granted, I was away from my computer. I didn't set it going either of those days. So I don't know that it's fair to judge it, but I had kind of hoped that the increase in activity would have just kind of carried over and resulted in some sales on Friday and Saturday, but that was not the case. I mean, Saturday and Sunday, that was not the case. So I'm going to say I've had like 5 sales since I started Posher VA. So if there's a tip or trick that y'all want to share with me, leave it in the comments, because what am I missing? I feel like I could do almost everything that they're doing and have the same amount of sales. So is it even worth the $25 a month? To me, it just doesn't seem worth it. So let me know if you have made it work for you, and is there something I'm not doing that I should be doing? Okay, so Poshmark sales, I had this vintage breeches. Who remembers breeches? That's like back in the day, right? Here's the label. It's a leather braided belt, men's belt, in excellent condition. And that sold for $21 on Poshmark. And let me get this rolled back up to put it in my bag. So I am going to guess that I got this in a lot from an online auction. I do like to go, the auctions that I'm bidding on, I do like to win super crinkly bag. I do like to win their accessories lots because you really can get some really great things. I'm just looking up to see what, okay, this says I paid $4 for it it was listed mid-January, and I did not put in there where I got it. So that's interesting. There's all of these ones. Let's see, where did I say? Oh, Marshalls. I did not get that from Marshalls. Okay, so I don't know where I got it from, but I paid $4 apparently. Sometimes my spreadsheet fails me, okay? Okay, and then my very last sale for the day is Taos sandals. This is a great brand to keep your eye out for. These sold for $52. And let's see, there's the brand, if you can see it. These are so, like, they just look comfortable. Perfect for all of your summer adventures. And they sold for $52. You know what, and now I'm thinking about it, I have no idea where I got these from. I do feel like they were a recent pickup. Let's see. Okay, so it says I paid $6.22, which makes me think I got them at like Unique or something. Not a recent pickup. Unique, yes. And I got them in July of last year. So almost a year for them to sell, but they sold for $52. So my profit after cost of goods and fees and everything was $35.38. So that is not bad at all. So definitely keep your eye out for that brand, Taos. Taos. So if you think about everything that I sold this week, it literally does kind of cover the gamut of what I list. I list clothing and accessories. So we have shoes, we had belts, we had a robe, underwear, let's see, and then books. So I sold the Dungeons and Dragons book, the set of books, the manual, and then I list flatware and cutlery, and that was the Cutco. I do a lot of craft kits, and so then the Elsa Williams completed, and the pillow. I mean, the bag, I list a lot of bags and purses. So I do feel like the wide gamut of everything I list kind of was touched on this weekend. So that's really good. That means that eyes are getting onto my whole store, which is awesome. Because at the end of the day, do any of us know how the algorithms work? I had one day last week when I was printing out my labels, literally every single label was going to California for my eBay sales. That's not normal. There are 50 states, millions of people, hundreds of millions of people. Why were all of my sales from one day from one state? Like, that's weird, right? So who knows how this algorithm works? Who knows who sees my items when? I don't. I'm not gonna stress about it. But when I'm able to sell a wide variety of things, and jewelry, that just kind of makes me feel a little good that everything is visible to a lot of eyes. Anyway, if you have not yet, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. We are really trying desperately to grow our channel, and right now we're just kind of stagnating. So if you could help us out by hitting that subscribe button, and if you found anything helpful or encouraging or hopeful or whatever in this video, hit the like button and drop a comment below if you had questions about anything. I would be happy to answer it. But besides that, make sure you tune in tomorrow to see what's sold